Hello everyone, my name is Dewi Aisyah Nur Syabana. Today I'm going to talk about the medieval English period, one of the most interesting eras in English literature. I will explain about its historical background, the social and cultural condition, the government system, the literary works and authors, and finally, one famous work and its genre. First, about the period, the medieval English period, also called the Middle Ages, lasted from around 1066 to 1500. It began after the Norman conquest, when William the Conqueror from Normandy became the King of England. During this time, the English language changed from Old English to Middle English because of the influence of French and Latin. Now, let's talk about the society, economy, and culture. In this period, life in England was based on a system called feudalism. The king owned all the land, and he gave it to nobles or lords, who in return had to provide soldiers and taxes. Below them were knights, who fought for their lords, and the bottom were peasants, who worked the land. Economically, most people lived in village and worked as farmers. Socially, people were divided into classes: nobles, clergy, and peasants, and it was very difficult to move between these classes. Culturally, religion played a very important role. The Catholic Church dominated education, art, and literature. Many writings were religious, such as sermons, prayers, and moral tales. But later, writers began to explore love stories, legends, and human experience beyond religion. Now, about the form of government. England was ruled by monarchs, meaning kings and queens. The most powerful rulers were William the Conqueror, Henry II, and Richard the Lionheart. The government was based on loyalty. Every person owed loyalty to someone above them. This structure reflected in literature too, where we often find stories about loyalty, honor, and chivalry. Next, let's talk about the literary works and writers of this period. The medieval period produced many important writings, such as Beowulf. Although it started earlier, it was still read in this period. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, Piers Plowman by William Langland, and of course the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Other famous writers include William Langland, Thomas Malory, and John Gower. Now let's focus on one major work, the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. This collection of stories was written around 1387. It tells about a group of pilgrims who are traveling from London to Canterbury to visit the shrine of Saint Thomas Becket. To make their journey fun, each pilgrim tells a story. There are 24 stories in total, and each story reflects the personality and background of the pilgrim who tells it. For example, the knight's tale is about honor and love, while the miller's tale is funny and full of jokes. This variety makes the book very rich and realistic. What about the form of the work? The Canterbury Tales is written in poetic form using verse and rhythm. It is also a frame narrative, which means it is one big story that contains many smaller stories inside it. And now let's talk about the genre. The main genre of the Canterbury Tales is narrative poetry, but it also includes elements of romance, satire, fable, and allegory. It reflects real life, society, and human behavior, both good and bad, through humor and storytelling. Chaucer used satire to criticize corruption in the church and society, but he did it in a clever and entertaining way. To summarize everything, the medieval English period was a time when English literature started to grow from religious themes to more human-centered stories. Society was ruled by kings and organized under feudalism. People's lives were guided by religion, but literature began to express personal and social issues. Geoffrey Chaucer, with the Canterbury Tales, showed how diverse English society was, from nobles to peasants, all in one masterpiece. Thank you for your attention and thank you for watching.